How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Maximum Damage Podcast, a little branch off of our normal podcast called Medium Difficulty. This is where we like to talk about breaking news or games that we want to talk about in the spur of the moment. I'm Sean, otherwise known as the Bears. I'm also here with Andrew, otherwise known as Spider Stags.
What's up, guys?
And I'm here with Jim, otherwise known as Saint Jimmy.
Hey, what's up?
And obviously, we're doing this podcast for a reason today. And we had some breaking news in the fact that Reggie Fils-Aime, the president and COO of Nintendo for almost 16 years, is retiring effective April 15th, 2019. Guys, pretty crazy breaking news today. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but Reggie was always synonymous to me with E3 Nintendo showcases. I loved seeing them, especially during the Wii era and all that. He had a couple of funny memes like the "My Body Is Ready" thing. He stepped on the Wii Fit board. Just a very charismatic man. Really good in front of a podium. Very charismatic. What do you guys think of him exiting Nintendo?
It's definitely a shocker to me today. I saw the Kotaku article and I didn't believe it at first until he came out with that video, saying his heartfelt goodbye.
Yeah,
it doesn't look that old, so it's.
No, he's actually only 57, which is crazy young for retiring. But I mean, if you're a COO, you probably have a good amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, COO of Nintendo America. My guess is he's not hurting to pay his bills. But I'm very, very saddened by the news. The fact that, he was, in my opinion, one of the driving forces that got Xbox and all of them to work together. He's one of the ones that, they all say, whether it's Phil Spencer or Sean Latham, did I say Sean Latham? That's not his name. Oh my God!
It's just like Leighton or something.
Sean Layton.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever would have talked. I think Reggie is that guy who molded all that together and put them, where they were to, the partnerships that they have now. So it's very sad. Hopefully, the relationships can continue without him, but definitely sad by that.
Yeah, absolutely. What were some of your favorite memories of Reggie being on the E3 stage? I mean, a couple come to mind for me, but I'll let you guys go off. We'll start with you, Jim. What do you think? What's your favorite?
It's actually my earliest memory of him is back when they introduced the Nintendo DS. And I mean, it's been so long, but I think he came out and just pretty much pulled it out of his pocket and flipped it open, and he's like, "This is it." And I remember the memes coming around of it just printing money for him because of how successful that thing was. But that to me is when I think of Reggie, that's it. Cause that was the turning point, I think, for Nintendo when they started to change up a little bit, I guess is the word, but they just became more synonymous on the internet with memes. They started listening, I think, to the fans a little bit more. I mean, not as much as they are today, but that's the best and first memory I have of him.
Yeah, no, the DS was huge. It was a huge part of gaming at the time. I mean, it still is. The DS is, it's the 3DS now, but it's still around. It's still selling. It's still a great product. Andrew, what about you? What's one of your favorite memories?
Mine's actually kind of stupid, but my favorite's anytime he spoke Japanese. I thought that was the coolest thing.
Dude,
talking back and forth between Nintendo in Japan, and he was just be talking Japanese to them. I'm like that. I just thought that was cool.
I feel like that's the biggest part of the job, though. You know what I mean? If you're working at Nintendo, you have to know how to speak Japanese.
Yeah, but seriously, that just goes to show you from a respect standpoint what he had toward some of the guys in Japan that he would learn that if he didn't previously to that job, just that respect factor. You don't always see that in industries, big industries. So, but regardless, I always thought it was very, very cool. That was one of my favorites, especially Reggie, because he's this big dude and
huge.
Yeah. He's just
so big.
But that's definitely my favorite thing. It always made me laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Now,
definitely.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead, Jim.
I was just gonna say he definitely won the respect of the community. Like they
Mhm.
dubbed him the Reginator, and like
Yeah,
part of his like goodbye speech was like, I remember when I first heard that nickname and like just how much it meant to him, and he totally embraced the community, which is I
Yeah.
think why he's so loved.
absolutely. Now, coming off of that, obviously, when a man retires, the man has to be replaced. Doug Bowser, Jim, I think it was you who said in the chat earlier, Bowser's taking over with Nintendo, and we need a Mario to stop him or something like
It was
that.
Andrew. It was Andrew.
I was Andrew. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah, sorry.
sorry, Jim. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'll take
Uh,
credit for it.
yeah, no, take credit. It was a funny joke. No, good job, Andrew. Now, just going based off that, what are some of your initial thoughts on Doug Bowser?
Well, for me, honestly, I didn't really know much about him until we did a little pre-discussion going into this. Um, but I mean, one of my initial thoughts is like what I said in the chat. Like, this dude's name is Bowser. Like, Bowser's taking over Nintendo. Like, what's going on here? But everything I've heard and from different gaming accounts that I follow of different people like in creative marketing, whatever, they've all had nothing but good things to say about him, as well as that he's a good replacement for Reggie. So I'm hoping that everyone's right. But yeah, I mean the only initial thing was that it was a Bowser.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same with me. Is I don't know honestly a whole bunch about him, and I kind of consider myself a Nintendo fanboy, but I know he was on a lot of their directs and stuff like that. He was on some of the E3 stuff, so he is a familiar face. But honestly, I don't know too much about him. Um, I think it's an interesting time for Nintendo because recently they finally just replaced Iwata because they had a temporary replacement in for him, and I'm forgetting his name, but they just bumped somebody else up over in Japan, and now with Reggie moving, it's definitely an interesting time for them.
And
Like,
Nintendo's just so different now, man.
mhm.
You know,
And
completely changed.
I like it though because I mean I don't have anything against Reggie, but I mean one of the like negative problems with Nintendo when he was in reign over there was that like I mean they were not really listening to like online features. So I'm actually curious to see if Nintendo's online infrastructure changes and stuff like that. If they have more of an open, audience, maybe we get achievements. Maybe they make changes. Maybe this new guy's got a better policy. I do like. Did you guys see the picture? Apparently, he did I think, a video of like, "Thank you for welcoming me," and in the background of his thing, he has Mario and Luigi doll tied up behind him, like they're
Oh
being
my God,
tortured.
yeah, like he's actually Bowser.
Like he's actually about, and I was like, all right, that's a
That's pretty
great way
cool.
to like win over your fans, like right off the bat, because
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the entire time he's been at Nintendo, everyone's always said to him, like, dude, like, your last name, like, come on, man. Like,
well, he's always
it's
repped
great
the
stuff.
stuff. Like I saw the video of him today where he had a Team Bowser shirt on and like a
Yeah.
jacket. So he
Yeah,
definitely embraced it. I like that. Like,
Yeah,
no,
which is
that's so
great.
cool.
That's a great personality trait to have because, he could have been like, some of the guys that have like last names of famous celebrities and stuff, they're always like, or like if your last name was, like if your name was Michael Jordan, like
mm,
something like that, a lot of times those people hate it. So the fact that his last name is Bowser and he embraces it and he's in the role open in Nintendo like that, it's pretty
mm.
cool.
He's definitely come to the right company with that last
Oh,
Oh
name.
god.
Just a little background on Doug. I actually kind of dug up. He actually worked in as a head honcho at marketing for EA for about 8 years before his job at Nintendo.
Hmm.
Um, since then, since May of 2015, he's been with Nintendo. So it's been almost 4 years. It's been about 3 years and 10 months now, but I'll give him the 4 years as vice president of sales. And over the past 2 years, we've seen more of Doug as opposed to Reggie, which I don't know if that was kind of like Reggie letting them know he's on his way out, and now the announcement finally comes out because you haven't seen him for a little bit. Um, Now, given that background as marketing for EA for a while, given that background, do you think Reggie will be a good? I mean, do you think Doug will be a good fit to replace Reggie?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of go to like, it's definitely a different look. You actually reminded me of that because I got to look this up. The guy that they put in charge of the entire Nintendo, because I'm pretty sure he was like from marketing too. So it definitely is a focus shift for them. Which I mean, so far since he's been there, it has been nothing but positive.
Yeah.
With the Switch itself, like, because I mean that was after Iwata's time. I definitely feel like Nintendo's making the right move. So yeah, I think they're going to be perfectly fine.
Now, I'm not saying that Doug Bowser had everything to do with EA's marketing, but he was obviously a big part of it.
Hmm.
So if you go back to 2015, I don't remember anyone talking very bad about EA back in 2015. The years after that, look at the marketing they've done on their games without him. Not a good job. So I don't, like I said, I'm kind of just trying to pull two and two together here, but that's probably a positive thing for uh, Bowser because he doesn't have that negative light. He wasn't at EA during the current time, so like you got to kind of think, back then they were marketing their games really well. They were selling everything really well. Now it's not the case, but so if he did actually was a positive part of that part of EA, then I feel like it's a very positive outlook for Nintendo because he obviously did a good job back then.
All right.
As
Now,
opposed to now is what I mean, like as opposed to
yeah,
after you left EA.
yeah. I understand. Now going into like E3 press conferences and stuff like that, obviously Reggie had a big part in all that. Big getting on stage, being personable, being able to talk to anybody. Now Doug has been doing a little bit of this, especially when Mario Odyssey came out. He was on stage for that. I know he was at a couple of like the first giveaways of the Switch when the system first came out. Now leading into that, do you think Nintendo can continue to have like memorable and exciting press conferences at EA and all that stuff? Because I remember if you remember like Reggie, like he had the like yeah, like I said, my body's ready when he stepped on the Wii Fit thing. That was a pretty funny moment. Also the stage fight with Iwata. It was kind of like a Street Fighter style fighting. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was really funny. Um, do you think there could be any more of that? Like, is there any replacing Reggie?
Um, I don't know because I kind of like I said, I think I'm kind of in the boat right now where I kind of have been kind of accepting Nintendo's going in this new direction, and I actually kind of think we're not going to see as much of a comical side of Nintendo because I think that kind of died when Star Fox Zero came out. Because if you remember, they did that whole puppets and like Muppet thing where they were all like Star Fox characters,
Hmm.
and it seemed like after Iwata passed, it seemed like that kind of died a little bit because the Nintendo Directs since then have been very focused. They've been just like, here's what we're showing off, boom, 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 let's go. It's not as much banter. So yeah, I think this guy will be able to, crack a joke and stuff like that. But like I said, they don't do E3 presentations anymore. They don't do that. So I think, I mean, he may not be as big of a face as Reggie was.
Yeah, I mean, you took right out of my mouth what I was gonna say. Like, I feel like they're moving toward more of like not necessarily like a presentation, like you said. It's more of like, here's what it is, here's the trailers, talk about it for like 30 seconds here, keep moving, and the Nintendo Direct, not necessarily person to person or person to crowd kind of deal.
Now, as fans of Nintendo, how do you both feel about that? Like, if it moves in a more direct way as opposed to, kind of like the funny, like childish, like they're having fun with it kind of way. Do you look forward to the direct way, or are you going to definitely miss the old ways?
I look forward to the directs. I
Yeah.
love the directs. I feel like it's straight to the point what I need. There's no like and I'm gonna use them as an example. There's no like Ubisoft kind of a lot of times with like games like Just Dance that like in my opinion no one really cares about anymore. They have this huge presentation, waste 15 minutes of your time just to announce a new Just Dance. Nintendo, whether you like the game or not, like if it's a smaller title, you kind of just see it, boom, to the point, and then they spend a little more time on the titles that they know everyone's looking forward to, like Mario, Zelda, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the direct style more.
Okay. Jim, how about you?
I do like the direct style more, but I am going to miss the live E3 presentations just a little bit because there were some really terrible ones I remember sitting through.
Oh, dude, yeah. What about the Andrew WK one with Bethesda last year? I kind of off topic, but that was just terrible.
But yeah, I do miss it a little bit because I miss, with the directs, the only problem I have with the directs is they always tell you exactly how long they're going to be. So it's like I'm always kind of watching the clock being like, oh, there's only 5 minutes left. Maybe we got like another game or two they show us. And like when they showed off Zelda, it was like, I mean, they told us this is the last game, but usually I kind of have an internal clock. I miss, not knowing what's coming next.
Yeah.
So I will miss that, but I do honestly prefer the directs because then they own that day when they announce it, or the days leading up to it, because it's all anybody can talk about. Like they always bring something new and surprising to the table.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if like Sony or Xbox starts moving that way either, especially after Sony's like I want to call it a debacle of EA3 last year. They kind of I'm not taking a shot at Sony.
Right.
Like I don't think that's ever going to happen again. Like they had people move to like 3 or 4 different theaters, and it was just like awkward. Like people didn't know what was going on, and whereas like Xbox is probably going to stay that way. That's just what they're known for. Is just kind of that big presentation of all these games, stuff like that. They kind of try and go all out. So maybe Xbox won't. But I know Sony's definitely moving in that direction. But especially by not attending E3, they're just going to have a regular, probably almost direct style kind of thing at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I completely agree.
All right, guys. I actually, just for a little fun, I created a little quiz for the both of you. You both are going to have 3 questions each, and if you tie, I have a bonus question, which is going to be absolutely hectic. But before we do that, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Jim's Repair Service, located in the South Jersey area. Jim fixes everything from appliance, heating, air. If you need any of that fixed, give Jim a shout. We're going to link to his service in the description of the YouTube video if you want to check that out. Also, if you would like to sponsor us, email us at mediumdifficultypodcast@gmail.com, and we would love your support because we're trying to definitely grow this and make it a big part of our lives. So, with that said, let's get into the quiz. Jim, I'm going to start off with you.
Oh, goddamn. All right.
Okay. All right. So you're both going to have 1 Pokemon question, 1 Star Fox question, and 1 Mario Universe question. Okay.
All right.
You both get 1 of each. All right. So for Jim, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So in the Pokemon games, the Elite Four play a major part. Correct.
Yes.
In the Kanto region, the Elite Four consists of Lance the Dragon Tamer and 3 others. Name the other 3 members of the Elite Four.
Well, there was the bonus one, which is your rival, but that was technically not.
We're not counting the rival.
Come on. There was Agatha. Damn.
That's hard. That's a hard question.
Yeah.
5 seconds.
Koga and I can't remember any of it.
All right, so you got Agatha correct.
Mm-hmm.
And there was Bruno and Lorelei were the other 2 I was looking for.
Lorelei's the ice one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I remembered Lance and Agatha, and you said Lance. I was like, oh, crap. That's the only one I remember.
I knew because Lance is the easiest one.
Wait, Bruno's fighting, right?
Bruno's fighting, yeah.
Then Agatha's psychic or ghost?
Ghost.
But psychic and ghost, yeah.
And Lance's dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then the rival.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
All right,
AKA
so that's
Blue, AKA Gary from the original one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew, are you ready for yours? So, Jim, you have no
that was the first question. I'm probably screwed.
It's a pretty similar one too.
Oh, God.
And easy ones. What is Pikachu's name?
What is Pikachu's middle name?
Yeah.
All right, are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
All right. In Star Fox 64, you play as Fox McCloud along with 3 other pilots in your squadron.
I have
The
no
other 3
idea.
pilots.
I have no idea. I don't play Star Fox.
Come on, give it a
so-
shot. You have 10 seconds.
I'm gonna say Toad Guy, Rabbit Guy, and Falcon.
All incorrect. It was Slippy the Toad, Peppy the Hare, and Falco. Yeah.
Hey, well, I was close.
You were close. You knew the characters, but you didn't know their names. That's the
welcome.
problem.
I don't play Star Fox. So.
All right, we're at 0-0 right now.
This is a burner.
Jim, I didn't give you that one for a reason.
I would have got that.
All right, ready for your number 2?
Yeah.
All right. In several games, Bowser has a Magic Koopa that advises him. What is the name of this Magic Koopa? Is it Goomba, Larry, Toad, or Kamek?
Kamek.
That is correct. Jim, you got a point. All right, moving on to Andrew. In the game Super Mario Sunshine, what is the name of the water pack that you use in the game? Is it Soaker, Splash, Flood, or Spill?
Soaker.
That is incorrect. It is Flood.
Shit.
All right, Jim, you're in the lead, man. If you get this one, you take it.
Dude, I can't tell you the last time I played Sunshine.
Well, I had them up on my wall behind me, and I just took it down. I put up the new shelves.
All right, Jim, you ready for yours?
Yeah.
Okay. In the Star Fox series, what is the full name, first and last, of Fox's rival who leads Star Wolf?
Wolf. I don't know his last name.
You don't know his last name?
Wolfenstein.
And the worst part is I'm staring at his amiibo right now too.
No, and it would have the name underneath it there, right?
Yeah. Of course it doesn't. You're gonna say it, I'm gonna be like, God damn it, I remember that. But
It's Wolf O'Donnell.
yeah.
What is he, Irish?
Yeah, right? All right, Andrew, you can tie it up here, and then it'll go into the bonus round.
This is Pokemon, right?
This is your Pokemon question.
Oh, shit.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
In Pokemon, what is Charizard's typing? Is it Dragon Flying, Fire Dragon, Fire Flying, or Fire Ground?
Fire flying.
Ooh, we got it. It's going to the bonus
That
round.
was easy. It was too
He
easy.
didn't get Dragon until the later versions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the what was it? The X what was it called? The stone. You know what I'm talking about? Mega.
No, I'm talking about when they didn't even include Dragon type until what?
The gold and silver, maybe?
No, because Dragonite was
that's
in the game. He was a dragon.
Yeah, but they didn't give it to him,
Yeah.
though.
Oh no, yeah, they didn't.
We'll talk about that later.
All right. Are you ready for the bonus question? You guys need your pen and paper. You got anything or whatever, something to write on at least?
I'm gonna write on my invisible thing.
Your invisible thing. All right. I need to see the answers, but all right.
I'll type in the notes section of my phone, I guess.
All right. You better get ready. Do it quick. Get it open. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Bonus question. Write down as many Mario characters minus Mario, person with the most wins after 10 seconds. Ready? Go. All right. Show them.
Oh, fuck, he beat me.
Jim wins. All right, Jim takes the quiz.
Yeah, that's redemption for not knowing O'Donnell. That's going to drive me crazy. I'll be like, I know that, I swear.
I thought that was going to be your easy one. I gave you each an easy one.
Yeah, I worked too long today.
Hey, man, I feel you. All right, hey, guys, final thoughts. Any final thoughts on today's news? And if you don't have any, what would you say to Reggie right now? if it would be a goodbye or a thank you, anything. What do you guys have to say?
I'll go first. I'll let Jim end
Yeah,
it
sure.
because he's the bigger Nintendo guy. So what I'll say is, I'm very sad about it. And if I could say anything to him, I'd say thank you for enhancing my experience as a gamer. Definitely broadening my horizons as a gamer. And for all the memories that he gave us from, directs, press conferences, whatever. He was definitely a big part of my life in a weird way. That's like someone that I've never met in an actual person. That's a big part of your life, and his decisions influence or basically shaped what I've been playing. So, I just definitely say thank you and wish you nothing but the best. And hopefully, you enjoy your time with your family in retirement.
Jim, go ahead.
No, I kind of echo the same thing. I mean, I hope he has a great retirement. Spend quality time with his family. The same thing. It's going to be different going forward, because it's weird. Like you associate him with all the games that came out, even though I mean he technically didn't make them. He was just kind of like the marketing guy that sold you on them. Not related to that a little bit. I did look up who the CEO of Nintendo right now is. It is Shuntaro Furukawa, and I was right. He is in marketing. He was in marketing too. He was in accounting and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm interested to see where Nintendo goes. I'm excited, and I think the things look good going forward.
Yeah, 100%. Of course, I wish the same to Reggie. Just to have a good time with his family and enjoy retirement. He's brought me tons of joy growing up, just watching him, just BS on stage and have fun with it, man. That's what I always like to watch. And with that, I mean, that's the podcast, guys. Thank you very much for listening to Maximum Damage on Medium Difficulty. We'll be getting you guys pretty soon with the podcast, I believe. And I think we have a little something fun in store for the next time around. So definitely stay tuned, and we look forward to seeing you guys. Take it easy.